Hey folks, see Rachana Ranade here, and I welcome you all to yet another live stream. Oh my god, I mean, the previous live stream that I did was when markets was down by around 300 points, and then I think yesterday, for those who attended the live stream, every Thursday I take a live stream, and in that we understood that yes, India has shown quite a bit of market resilience, but what we saw about US markets yesterday was beyond imagination. US markets, everyone knew that they would react negatively, but the way in which they reacted negatively was very crazy, right? They fell pretty bad, and now, as a student of stock market, I had this question that actually, why did we not see an impact yesterday, and why are we seeing a bigger impact today? Because on the 2nd of April, when the Trump tariffs were announced, after that we got to know that okay, this is the impact. So our markets reacted to the news. This was over, then the US market started. Then yesterday, for those who attend the live stream, we saw that a lot of bigger indices had cut massively, be it 3%, 4%. Russell 2000, if I am not mistaken, was down almost 5.5%. So what we need to understand today is, why did Indian market go down today as a one day late reaction? There have been many theories around that. Some people say that maybe yesterday we got to know that this is going to happen, but now we are going more and more deeper into the understanding that which sectors will get impacted, this, that, and that is the reason why we are reacting more today. But I personally feel that the reaction, number one, as a negative sign on India, came after Trump mentioned that he is thinking that he can also impose tariffs on pharma. Yesterday during the live stream, I said that he has categorized and 0% tariff for pharma. And while he was sitting in some plane, he gave this interview, and he said that, of course, he said, he clarified basically that pharmaceuticals were being considered as a separate category for tariffs, and he said expect the announcements for tariffs on pharma soon. And what did he say? He said that we will be announcing that in the near future, not in the distant future. Number one. So understand 3 points that impacted us. Number one, he said that we are not going to go 0% on pharma. We are going to announce tariffs on pharma. Number one. Number two, he said that it's not going to be like a distant future, it's going to be in the near future. Number two. And number three, he said that it will be at a level that you haven't really seen before. So was that a questionable, I mean, is that something that we can get scared? Yes, because he's saying that it's beyond imagination kind of a thing. That is the level at which I'm expecting. I mean, I may impose tariffs for pharma. Now we have to understand that whether we have a counter for this or not. If he genuinely imposes tariffs on pharma, then what? We have to understand how much worth of products of pharma do we import from US, and how much do we export. So as far as exports are concerned, India exports goods in pharma worth $8.7 billion. Okay, $8.7 billion. And if I'm talking about pharma imports, they are roughly near $800 million. Okay, so our exports are way higher as compared to our imports. So in fact, a report from Jeffries mentioned that simplest solution for this could be, we could consider lowering or zeroing down import duty on pharma imports from USA, because anyways it's $800 million. If we do that for our $8.7 billion worth of exports, we can get a very subsidized tariff. So the solution also seems to be good. Now, so I hope first point you understood why there was a bad reaction today. Number one was because of pharma. Number two, we have to understand that even crude oil. So let's talk about a little bit different point also. Crude oil today was down. I think it has gone below 65, $66, and Reliance would negatively react to that. And with this, what happens is that if Reliance is down, it's a heavyweight champion, and Nifty also gets impacted in a downward way because of that. Third thing we have to understand, I mentioned this yesterday, that if US reacts negatively to a news, then I mean the phrase goes something like this, that if US sneezes, the whole world catches cold. So if US is not going to react positively to this, if US is going to react negatively to this whole thing, of course all the global markets are going to see some sort of sell off. This whole recession kind of a thing, which is being talked about. Yesterday again, one more report came up from JP Morgan, and they said that we are increasing the likelihood of recession in USA. And they said earlier we believed that there is a 40% chance of recession in USA. Now we believe post tariff announcements there is a 60% chance of recession in the USA. I'm repeating very important point. JP Morgan said that earlier we believed that there's a 40% chance of recession in USA. Now he says that there's a six now they say that there's a 60% chance of recession in USA. Of course, that will not be taken positively. And again, that's why we saw US markets also reacting very negatively yesterday. Now, even I was going through multiple articles, multiple videos. I listened to so many podcasts from experts, that what is their take on this whole story. There is one interesting study. I'll just quickly show my screen. This is a compilation from a Nomura report published in the Times of India. And this mentions that how much is the exposure of exports by a country to the USA. And we are talking about as a source percentage of source country's GDP. I'll give you a simple example of this. Let's say if Vietnam's GDP is 100, okay, Vietnam's GDP is 100, 25 out of that comes from exports to the USA. Okay, I hope you're understanding this. If for Vietnam 100 is the GDP, 25 of the GDP comes from exports to USA. Are they heavily reliant on USA? Answer is yes. Okay, number one. Number two, the worst part is that there were so many companies who originally were setting up factories in China. Okay, and then they said, "Arey, then we want a substitute for China. Let's move out of China." And many of them went into Vietnam. Okay, now the tariffs that have been imposed on Vietnam are extremely high. So imagine this: there is a company like Nike. Why am I saying Nike? Because when I saw this graph, the immediate next thing that I thought of is what which two three things that Vietnam is exporting. If 25% of the total GDP comes from exports to USA, what are they exporting? Top two three items. Top two three items may say two important items are: number one is footwear, and number two is textiles. Okay, clothing basically. So so if I can imagine something like this, that let's say Nike had originally started a factory in China, but just to reduce the reliance on China, then they went to Vietnam, and now Trump says that Vietnam is exporting a lot to USA, and we have to impose tariffs on Vietnam, and the tariffs are very high. Logically, tell me, will it be a very bad news for Nike? Yes, understand. Nike is an American company, but Nike is not manufacturing shoes in America. Na? Nike is manufacturing shoes in a factory which is there in Vietnam. And the exports, so what will happen is Nike shoes will be made in Vietnam and they'll be exported back to USA. Now, let's understand that if Vietnam has such a crazy exposure to USA, will their market? I mean, what could have happened with their market? I will be very honest with you. I had never ever tracked Vietnam market, but after reading this news, I thought of just checking which index is this. This is a Vietnam index. First time I saw this. Okay, and look at this. This is day before yesterday. This is where they were, and from this level to the lowest point, let's check. Their markets corrected 12% in 2 days. That is crazy, right? 12% in 2 days for Vietnam gone. Now let's quickly check few others. Nike from USA. Nike yesterday was down by how much? 14% down. Okay. Let's check Crocs. Okay, Crocs again 14% down. So all these points, I hope you're understanding. This is crazy. Countries like Vietnam, they are into absolute pain point right now. That, oh God, so much for them, so much is dependent on USA, and because of huge tariffs imposed on them, they're facing the heat. What is in it for India? For us, only 2.2% comes up from exports to the USA. I know I should not be saying only, but if I'm comparing it with other emerging markets like Vietnam, Taiwan, Thailand, Malaysia, Hong Kong, Singapore, South Korea, Japan, whatever. All these emerging markets, if I'm comparing with them, we are still placed in a better way, right? So what could happen is that uh, if we were to now compete for manufacturing of footwear or garments, In that case, maybe we could get some advantage over manufacturing in other countries like Vietnam. Okay, so I hope you have understood that why we saw, I mean, whatever reaction that we are seeing today, it's because of 2 3 points. I'm wrapping it up for those who joined in late. 2 3 important points why we fell today. Number one was Trump's additional commentary on pharma. Till yesterday, he had said that we are not going to, really bother about tariffs on pharma. But he did say today that we are not going to exempt we are not going to exempt pharma. We are going to impose tariff. Number one. He also said that at rates which have been never thought before, so he's not going to spare that sector. I personally believe that he'll have to take it. I mean, imposing big amount of tariff on pharma is going to be not easy for them. Number one, but as I mentioned, there is a simple way out. As per one of uh, the analysts at JP Morgan, he said that the way out could be pretty simple. Sorry, not JP Morgan, Morgan at Jeffries. He said that. Sorry, what was the report about Jeffries? They said that rather than fearing about this, simple way out could be we are importing worth only $800 million from USA and we are exporting worth $8.7 billion to USA. Simple thing, we can reduce our import duty to USA. So obviously our tariffs will be reduced. That could be a simple option. Number two, it is because of crude, and crude today went down. Crude goes down. Ideally, very good for India, but a company like Reliance is going to take it negatively, and because of that, Reliance being a heavyweight champion, Nifty went down. Number three, it's more of US recession fears because of which we are falling, is my personal take. There was a report again wherein let me just check the name, otherwise I can just like let me not say the name wrongly. The report was by JP Morgan, and JP Morgan mentioned that there was a 40% chance that US may slip into recession, and now they are mentioning that there is a 60% chance that US may slip into recession. So these, according to me, are the top 3 points why markets fell today. For those who have been following my live streams, I have talked about my three key levels, which I said this repeatedly, that I believe that these three levels could be honored. And what has happened, we'll quickly check with Nifty. I'm going to share my screen so that you also get to know. Um, Yes. So here, if you see a big red candle, totally yes, we are down almost 350 points. But for those who have been watching my live streams, they know three levels that I talked about: 23,000 being a psychological level. Number two, we had drawn a Fibonacci from this lowest point to this highest point, and here you can see Fibonacci level is at 22,926. So it's at 22,900 as a round off point. You can check my live stream on the 1st or 2nd of April that I did. In that, I told about these levels: 23,000, 22,900 because of Fibonacci, and the last one, our favorite level, which I've been talking about since so many days, which is 23,800. These levels have been respected at least for now, so it'll be really interesting to see what happens. But we have not done that badly today also. We have been able to sustain above key levels. There was no major sell off per se. I understand that 350 points cut is not a small one, but we have not gone below the key levels of 22,800. Okay. Murli is asking 20,300. Will this gap be filled? Murli, I don't think so. As of now, whatever we know, I really doubt if we'll go even close by that or not. I feel that 20 to 800 in itself should act as a very, very strong support that should not be taken out easily. Happy with how we have reacted today. 20 to 800 holding strong. Extremely happy with our performance. So I hope you have understood top 3 points why the markets fell today. Number one, it was because of pharma. Number two, crude, positive sign for India, but Reliance dragged it down. And number three, as we said, it is more about recession fears in the USA. And as a fun fact, we also discussed about countries like Vietnam and their index falling by what, 12, 13% in a matter of 2 days. And we also understood how companies like Nike are facing the heat. Maybe they had initially set up factories in countries like China, but then, to have China plus one or whatever, they moved to Vietnam. Now Vietnam is being taxed so much that Nike shoes, which are being, let's say, manufactured in Vietnam, now when they are being exported back to USA, it's a crazy tariff that will lead to inflation, and inflation with stagnated growth may lead to stagflation. That these are the great fears that we are seeing right now. But with all this, I personally feel that we are still not doing so bad. 22,800 being reserved is still a very good thing. So this is it from my side. Most important points that I wanted to sum up. Top three reasons why markets fell down. Before I cut down today's live stream, just for everyone, we have our event in Bangalore, which is Har Ghar Investor, and Har Ghar Investor is coming live in Bangalore on 12th of April. Anyone who wants to understand about three key points. One is about mastering money management. One is about my target for Nifty 2027, and very important, how to build long-term wealth in such uncertain markets. Seats are filling up fast, more than 40-50% booked already. So anyone who wants to enroll for this event, it's a live event. I'm going to take question and answers. Anyone who has questions about the current market scenario also, those questions will also be answered. We're going to have a lot of quizzes, and so many amazing things that we are going to have in the Bangalore event. So anyone who is in Bangalore, who is around Bangalore, would definitely want to see you all at the event. We'll have selfies, and lots of knowledge exchange. You will get to meet with like-minded people as well. So see you there. Link is there in the pinned comment and in the description box. So see you soon, and see you in. I mean, keep invested. Don't be worried at all. ये सब आते जाते रहेंगे. Key levels as of now have been kept intact. I'll see you soon. Till then, take care. Jai Hind and bye bye.